Well, greetings folks. I know it's been quite a while since I've done an update on Fall of Atlantis here. Several weeks anyways, and it's been a while since I've streamed as well. That's probably not going to change for the time being, for several reasons. Primarily because it's getting harder and harder for me to actually accomplish anything just by setting down and pressing record on here and then throwing stuff together. It's getting a little bit more detailed and a little bit more complicated. I'm working on the finer details of things, and a lot of my time recently has been spent pretty much just with the design document, fleshing out the story some more, trying to develop the characters, things like that. But that's not to say I haven't been doing anything. You're gonna see what I'm not gonna do any creating in this video. I'm not gonna do any map design or anything like that. This is gonna be just a quick little update video to show you what I have been doing over the past few weeks and let you see how the game has changed and how it's all coming together. Instead of just showing you through the map creator here, how about I just do a quick playtest. Here we go. The Fall of Atlantis. I shouldn't have to say any disclaimers like, things are going to change drastically in all of these scenes and things like that, probably before the final release, whenever that will be. Quite a ways away, many months, maybe a year or two, I'm not sure. These are all just things that I've got pieced together. Of course, you know how the intro goes here. I don't have the character set to start invisible because I don't really want to mess with it. But yeah, you won't be able to see the character in the beginning. Things like that. And one of the things I'm thinking about doing is also removing the faces here in the dialogue and simply doing it old school style where it says the name of the character. It'll be like, Emma and then the text. And I won't use an icon at all. Because honestly, I'm not sure if I even want to. And I have my reasons for that. I'm not sure if they're valid or not, but one of the reasons is I don't want the player to come to know, how do I say this? If all I do is show the player the face and then the text, they'll become attached to the face, not so much the name. However, if I only show the name like it says Emma and then look, they will get a better attachment to the player, I think, or to the characters that way by using the name. Otherwise, they just get attached to this face, and they might not get so attached to the rest of the sprites or anything like that. I'm not sure. Again, thinking of ways to manipulate the player and ensure that they see things my way. I'm not sure how well it'll work, though. Look! Ugh, are we there yet, Mom? I'm not your mother, dearie, but you may as well rise and shine. Your schooling is about to begin. And then, of course, they go through the dialogue and everything. So who are you two? Medical staff? Well, not quite. And again, this is probably subject to change, because in the very beginning of the game, I'm introducing 3 main characters right off the bat. So, I have to give the player a chance to name them. So it'll introduce the main characters as soon as the cutscene starts here. Basically, it'll give a brief description of the character, and then you can name them, of course. And then that name will be used throughout all the dialogue in the game where it calls for him. And this is Dennis, the security member, attempting to re-establish communication with Central Command wherever they are on the colony. In the beginning part of the game, the player is just trapped in the engineering sector, basically. So yeah, and then they go through there. This is a line for Norin there. I don't have his face put there. A lot of little inconsistencies, things that need to be polished out and fixed. But again, all of the dialogue is placeholder, mostly just to set the mood right now. That way I can get the cutscene up and going. And Norin is a lone survivor that was found in this cryo room. He's searching for his family. I don't know. Actually, yeah, I will. I was gonna say, I don't know if I should explain that right off the bat, but as soon as Norin finds out that things are not going correctly, he's basically gonna become worried for his family and want to start searching for him. So yeah, no amnesia either. I'm not sure there's... Unless you've got a really, really damn good amnesia story, it's best just to avoid amnesia. I mean, amnesia's been done so many times. Unless you've got something absolutely amazing, it's probably best to avoid that cliche. So yeah, here we are, the Cryo Room. Can't leave. AI's bolted the door. So we'll speak to Dennis. And he'll, of course, have a few lines and everything like that. Noran's going to be kind of confused, you know, what's going on? Why are you guys here? Where's the medical staff that should have woke me up? And they're not going to explain everything to him just yet. And before they can leave the room, combat starts. Emma is going to rush over there. I'm not sure if I'll even have that. But hey, here's the first look at the combat system. I told you guys I was going to have a side view combat system, and I've been testing out getting it set up. Still very simple. I don't have any special moves set up or animated out or anything like that. But for now, you know, the player sprites, they'll jump over there, they'll animate an attack. If they've got a weapon like an axe, they'll use the axe. The enemies will jump over to the player and attack them. And by the time I'm done, hopefully everybody will kind of have their own personal attacks and things like that. So yeah, story, you know, we can't go through the door, it's been bolted shut. There's no way out into the main hallway at this point because the door has been bolted shut, so unlock the vent, access the air ducts. And the safe room is just to the north. Take a left at the fan and keep going behind the wall. Watch out for the pests, though. Are you guys gonna murder me? This is getting pretty weird. I mean, it would be weird to be pulled out of a cryopod and suddenly you're going through tunnels, but at the same time, you know, maybe you'll just have to follow and find out. So yeah, there we go. Let's see. This, I've explained some of the combat. The AI will chase you around, but for the most part there's going to be boundaries. That way they can't chase you everywhere. I'm also looking into different ways to animate them. That way maybe they won't start chasing you until you come within a certain distance of them. And one of the things I'm going to be doing is hard-coded encounters, so that if you step on the wrong square, you will be attacked. See that mouse up there? If you try to go through this tunnel, every single time, that mouse will come after you. It's going to jump down and, yeah. You'll have to decide. Do you want to try to squirm your way through the water there and avoid the robots that are pathing around, or do you just want to have a for sure guaranteed fight by going through here? So we'll go through here. And a little bit of slowdown, I'm not sure why. Actually, probably because I'm recording. Welcome back. So yes, hopefully the player can figure out to go through there to find the safe room. And here's the safe room. Still working on the main design for this area. This is going to be the main safe room where a bunch of minor characters will be kept at. People that you stumble across that don't really offer any services or story or anything like that. I'm going to try to make it look rough. Like, this area is not, you know, it's not exactly supposed to be here. It's... I'm not sure it's story just yet, you know. Was this place used as a storage area during the construction of the colony? What does it do here? This little grill area, I may have fans behind it, or at some point in the future, I haven't decided yet, I may have it get busted open and have the safe room be invaded by the AI or by some other antagonists through the story. Just little weak points like that I can work with. So yes, we'll go to the sleeping quarters. Dennis and Emma will take off, and I've mentioned before, all the party members that you eventually get, you'll be able to talk to here. And here's Paige, the Nanomancer. Fighting to maintain control of her own body, this warrior hunts down the disturbance in order to free the AI. Yes. She has nanobots. That's how she'll have a whole bunch of nano-based attacks and things like that. One of her ultimate attacks will be something like disassemble, where the nanobots will actually latch onto the enemy and just break them apart at a molecular level. That'll be one of her high-powered attacks that she'll have to unlock later on. Also, another thing I'm working with, if you remember in the previous videos, I had it so that you could see the wall here. I think I'm just going to have the ceiling part and then have the bottom parts down here kind of be blacked out. It's not real important that you can walk under these parts, and it's not important that you can or cannot see the wall, but it's just another visual style that I'm trying to decide if I want. So yeah, you'll have injured people in here. These people aren't really important. They'll come and go throughout the story, perhaps. I'm still not sure. Emma will walk around and check on people because she's a medic. They'll give you story clues and things like that. These are engineers. They'll give you a little bit of hint about what the story is going to do and, you know, what you're supposed to be doing, perhaps. Explain the situation. You know, why is there liquid draining into the place? Well, it's cryo fluid. Broken pipes have been spilling the fluid all over the place instead of cycling it through and things like that. But the first time you come to the safe room, it will trigger the first quest. If you try to leave, you'll be stopped. And wait! If you're going back out there, could you please search for our friend? He's another engineer, you know. Yellow overalls, big beard, yada yada. Said he was going to go check out some tunnels to the east. Well, that was a day ago. Yeah, sure, we'll keep an eye open for him. Well, he's got almost all of our tools, too, so if you can find him, then we can get back to work opening some doors and trying to isolate the AI. Because one of the main story elements in the first part of the game here is going to be trying to get this sector cut off from the AI so that it will stop bolting down doors, it'll stop overriding computers, and the survivors can kind of set up a base of operations here. So the first thing that the player will have to do before they can go back out into the main hallways and back out into the cryo rooms is go find this engineer. Yeah, actually it's not the recording that's slowing it down, it's the sound effects for some reason. I don't know why. It doesn't slow that down. It doesn't slow it down when I'm not recording, so who knows. Oh, spider bots. You know how many of these things I've killed? Too many. But yes, you can go through there, and of course, that'll be a guaranteed fight every time. There will be random fights that the player will basically be forced upon just by searching around, I've decided. Some things you'll be able to avoid, like this guy, you might be able to avoid him. But other things, not so much. Lost by chance? Well, just a little robot trouble. Nothing that a few swift blows to the bolts can't fix. Little bugger had me cornered after I dropped my wrench. You must be that other engineer that they were so worried about. They're still in the safe room waiting for you, you know. Should have come after me themselves, the cowards. Anyways, I'll just follow you guys back to the safe room if you don't mind. They might be cowards, but they're still my buddies. And this stupid robot's gonna chase you. I still haven't figured out how to get him not to do that. As soon as you start dialogue, he runs up and starts sniffing you. Even though his pathing has him set to move around randomly, it seems like once he latches onto you, he just doesn't move. So, that engineer will be rescued. And if you go back to the safe room, he will be in there. That injured engineer, he'll be in there in the safe room, laying on a bed. The other engineers will thank you. But you don't have to go back there to trigger the next plot point. I don't think. I may make it required to go back there, but as soon as you rescue him, it unlocks this door. And now we can go out into the main hallway here. You can see I changed the doors from what they were. I kind of like these 2-tile high doors instead of the 1-tile that they were. And I've also color shifted the orbs in the center, so I'm not sure if I'll have these little warning signs either. You may have to pay attention to the orbs on the door. A red door will mean something's wrong in the room, a blue door will mean it's fine. But we can go through here, and this is where the next part of the quest will take you. There's going to be actually, you know what? I will say that after you rescue that first engineer, what I plan to do is you do have to go back to the safe room, because then the group is going to get together and have a chat with the engineers and decide what to do next. And what they're going to do is they're going to want to go to the security room. We don't need to check out the bathrooms. Yeah, a little bit more decoration. I'm still trying to figure out how to make these areas not so barren. It's extremely difficult because I don't have tons of sprites for futuristic stuff. So pipes and boxes might be the only thing that I can throw around. But this will be the security area. We've got pipes here, of course. This little red stuff, it's most likely not going to be here whenever I'm done. I was just kind of goofing around. But this is the security room. I don't know, again, my design kind of sucks. It's not instantly apparent that this is the security room, but, you know, by exploring it, I don't know, maybe they'll find out. So, they'll go through here, and of course the engineers are with you, because the cutscene will establish that they're going to follow you to the security room, because there's a main wire here that if they cut, they may be able to isolate the IA from the area. So Norn says, let's spread out and see what we can find. The engineers, well, the main relay is in the back. We'll go check it out. And then everyone splits up here. Place seems to be deserted. Well, we're not the first to come through here. Look at the tracks in the dust, recently made. Good catch. He's a janitor, he'll notice those things. And this will be the first main encounter with the AI. Well, it's certainly not this thing leaving tracks, considering it doesn't have legs and it's floating. It's a spunky little thing. Lovely humans come to play, this place is mine, I'm here to stay. The AI is not very happy. And I'm thinking I'm going to use one of the... It's another generic kind of thing, but the AI is going to have multiple personalities, and one of them is going to speak only in rhymes. I'm not sure how, you know, much effort I want to put into the rhymes and poetry that it speaks, but we'll see. But yeah, this is the first boss fight. You can see the shift in music. This is the boss fight music. Hopefully it establishes, you know, this is serious. This is a serious fight. There's no balancing yet. Of course, it's shorting out. And this is not the boss that will be in here. Most likely. In case you didn't notice, this is the Turbine Boss for whenever you're fighting on the bridge. And yay, everyone's level 4 now. So yeah, after this, the AI will have some more dialogue, the group will have some dialogue. You'll be able to check these computers for information, and there'll be another cutscene that actually establishes where to go next. And the cutscene after you defeat the AI, whenever you're checking these computer screens, the security cameras, it'll probably also be the first time I introduce the main villain, Harlan, because there's going to be a cutscene that shows him rounding people up, possibly sacrificing them. I still haven't figured it out yet. And another thing that I'm working on is, you might notice those TV monitors up there, how they have the main character on them. I want it to feel like the AI is constantly watching the player. Maybe not at first, but the more you advance through the story, the more the AI is going to start paying attention to you. So you'll start to show up on TV screens and TV monitors like that as you become a bigger thorn in the AI's side. And there'll be various rooms that you can explore back here. Some of the rooms might have monsters in them. Some of them may have a survivor or two that you can rescue, items, things like that. I'm still not too sure about those security doors. They look a little bit weird to me, but we'll see. And the engineers are back here, and you can see they've cut the wire here. You can check it. The wires have been cut by a certified engineer. They'll have a little bit of dialogue saying, you know, we think that this might do it, but it's not. We're not for sure. Turns out it doesn't. That does not isolate the AI. So after that, again, there'll be some more events after that, and then, oh yeah, you know what, I might as well show you guys. This is kind of how I've got the lift figured out. I talked about it. This is going to be how the group gets to the surface eventually. This is kind of the lift that I'm working on. I'm still not too sure about it, but yeah, that's kind of what it will look like. And that'll take you to the colony surface at some point. That way you have easy access to and from. You don't have to go very far from the safe room to get to the colony surface. And of course, you'll also be able to get to the safe room by using any of the vents scattered around the colony. So let's see, we'll go back here. At some point, the next quest I have to actually enable it here, because I don't have it. So, hang on one second, because I actually have to change my hotkeys here, unfortunately. Okay, I had to change a few hotkeys there, because unfortunately F9 was also my default record key for Camtasia, so every time I pressed F9 to pull up the variables here, it would stop recording. But after all of that, the main event will turn on an event that shuts down the turbines providing air throughout this part of the colony, which means you'll be able to go through here. If you try to go through here before that, the wind will blow you back because it's simply blowing too hard. So yes, this will be a dungeon. It'll have its own music. There'll be various places to explore, things like that. And it will lead us all the way to, I'm sure you remember the cutscene, the bridge, where the party will first be split up. But before we go to that, I have worked on Santa a little bit. Yeah, for some reason those sound effects really slow things down while I'm recording. I don't know why. But this is the Santa cutscene I've been working on a little bit. My only problem is it doesn't make sense. If you'll notice, the turbines are stopped. You'll see why it doesn't make sense here in a minute. So yeah, these guys show up. You can rescue Santa here. This rescuing Santa may not be here the first time you come through. This may be a secret event that you have to kind of explore through and find later. I'm still not sure yet. But you'll see why it doesn't make sense here in a second. The turbines are stopped. Okay? They're not spinning, but yet those guys go and jump into them and then they get cut up. So I have to add this event at some point after the turbines have started spinning. I just don't know when. And so yeah, you rescue Santa, he gets pulled away, and he will be back in the safe room waiting for you. And again, he will probably give you various items based on the number of survivors that you've rescued or things like that. And if you don't rescue Santa, he will probably show up as a boss at some point later in the game to ruin your day. And there are various places that you can explore. I'm hoping that people actually do explore. I'm not going to do it because for now they're mostly empty. There's no items in there. This is the optimal path right now. I may mix it up later before I release the game. That way those of you who've been following along don't know the optimal path. If you try to follow my steps here, it'll take you the wrong way. So yes. And then this will be a very pivotal moment in the story. This will be the Turbine Boss. And this will be the first time the party is split up. Norrin's party is victorious. So yeah, he's going to blow. I still don't know if I'll have the other characters on screen during that jump there. If I'll have them running as well, trying to make it to the other side. Or if I'll just have Norrin. I have tried multiple takes where I have Emma and Dennis visible there, but it looks kind of wonky, so I don't know. So yeah, Dennis falls down, and then Emma slips. I still don't know if she slipped or if she jumped after him. I may not explain that. I may leave it up to the player to decide, you know. Does Emma love Dennis enough that she would throw herself into the darkness after him? Yes. Okay, and this is another character that you'll meet. What's all the noise back here? Who are you? Well, this is the chief engineer, who's attempting to repair damages across the colony and set things straight. Ch.10. Again, his sprites. I'm hoping that I can get new sprites before I release it. I don't want to use the default RPG Maker sprites, but it's incredibly difficult to find anyone with any spriting capability who wants to do any sprite work. Nobody wants to do it unless they're doing it for themselves. So, this is, yeah. They'll have their dialogue, and then they'll group up. He comes over there looking a little bit concerned. But Norrin is going to stay resolute. There's no way down there at this point. He realizes it. Ch.10 tells him that there's no way down there, no easy way down there. So they'll just focus on the task at hand, the thing that they came here for, which is to reboot the turbines, to force a manual override and to cut the AI out, which can be done only by these computers. The turbines begin to spin once more, providing fresh air throughout the colony. And then they'll have a cutscene back to the safe room where the turbines will start spinning, and everyone will be happy. They did it! Santa jumps, people come in. It's excitement all around. And as Ch.10 raises to the colony's surface, actually that should say Norrin, as Norrin raises to the colony's surface, Emma and Dennis find themselves trapped far below. So this will be the first part where the group is split up. If you choose Norin and Ch.10 here, you'll be able to go directly to the colony surface, and I still haven't figured out exactly what their scenario is going to entail. I think that they will try to get the lift going, that lift that I showed you guys not too long ago. They'll have to go through a few steps in order to get that lift going, and then they'll head back to the safe room. And Emma and Dennis here, if you follow them, I like Emma's scenario here. It's coming along quite nicely, I think. Except for the fact that it is extremely laggy while I'm recording for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why the game is having such difficulty with the sound scripts that I've got going. But yes, they'll come down here, amazed that they're alive. Or at least Emma's amazed that she's alive. Dennis is unconscious. And she'll try to revive him, resuscitate him, but he doesn't wake up. So she knows what she has to do. She has to get Dennis out of here into some place that she can actually work on him. And, I've set this up. You'll be able to jump over here. It'll do it automatically. It'll be much quicker than this, but it's laggy as hell for some reason. So, this will be the starting area for Emma's scenario. This is going to be an extremely difficult scenario. I don't intend to make this easy. It's supposed to be hard. If you explore, you'll be able to find this location. Obviously, if you're watching this, you already know it's here. But this will be the rest area for Emma. There's some strange creature down here. Wah! Yeah, this is the first part in the story where you finally start to see that there are really strange things going on. It's not just the fact that the AI has been subverted and, you know, the little glimpse of Harlan that you caught in the security room. This is where you start bumping into monsters, you start bumping into, you know, strange creatures, things like that. And a chef. There's a chef down here. If you rescue the chef, he will be in the safe room, and he will be able to do things for you. You can give him ingredients and things like that, and he might make rare food dishes for you, and things like that. So yeah, you recruit him, he joins you. He doesn't actually do anything in battle. You can save your game here. You can rest for a bit and heal up. Because you may need to rest down here and heal up a bit. You may need to do a little bit of leveling, I'm still not sure. Get away from me, robot. And yeah, it's just Emma in the group. Now, remember the heart room that I designed on the stream? I am extremely proud of this room. The scene that has come together, it's made me extremely happy. I put a lot of work into this one. You can see that door up there? I've been working on Frankensteining custom sprites together. What is this? There's going to be voices coming from the door there. Who's there? Give him to us. So obviously something wants Dennis. He is extremely close to death, and they can sense it. Aram is the planet that they came from, but yet here we are. He is so close, so delicious. Yes, that is where things take a turn for the scary, in my opinion. So Emma's scenario is going to be one of overcoming the darkness, overcoming the fears down here, doing whatever it takes to ensure that Dennis lives. And I'm hoping to be able to accomplish that. I think that room sets the tone very well for this place down here. As you try to progress through the tunnels here, though, you're going to notice that you've awoken something. They have taken notice of you and Dennis, and they want you. And there will be a little bit of dialogue, of course, and then that little sprite down there will start chasing you. If it touches you, you will have a fairly hard fight on your hands, at which point it will reset to the entranceway and then start chasing you again. There is no way to beat it except to run. You can fight it again and again and again. And this is another large area that you'll have to explore through. That little blue thing up there, I guess I'll show you guys. It's pretty much, it doesn't chase you. It's actually triggered by events. So if you step in a certain pattern around the creature, it will come after you. And I'm not going to bother fighting it. We're just going to run. And hopefully we can get away from everything else. No, we're not. Dang it. I was worried about that. I may not be able to run away from these things. Nope. Because I've messed up. Yeah, I've messed up and set it so that for some reason it accidentally freezes the player for like 60, well not 60 seconds, but for a few seconds there. But you'll be able to run away from them and things like that. But they blend in with the water, so they're going to be kind of difficult to see the first time you go through, which means you will probably bump into them. Yeah. Not too happy about the fact that it freezes the player in place. I made some mistake with the scripting there. I want it to freeze the enemies in place. That way if you run away, the enemy doesn't immediately chase you. There we go. So yeah, you can fight them. Move your ass, Emma. You see gargoyles on the ledges there. If you get too close to them, they'll come down and you'll have to fight them. I may entice the player to do that with an item or two over there. There'll be various rooms that you can explore. I'm not going to go into them right now, though. They'll have items and things like that. Another theme of this underworld area of the colony is the waterfalls, because there are tons of leaks around the colony. And here we go. There's nowhere to run. Why do you try to run from us? And that thing will chase after you. And here we go. And this will take us to where we meet Paige for the first time. And of course the AI has control of her, so it's going to talk in one of its extremely obvious rhymes / poetry. And Emma's like, no way, it can't be. Because she knows just from the voice that it's the AI, even though it's actually a person there. So Emma's none too pleased and kind of shocked. Yes, this will be a boss fight right here. And then you'll knock her into the water. The headset that she uses to control the nanobots en masse will be shorted out, and that headset is also the way that the AI was taking control of her. So once it shorts out, she does regain control over her own body again, but without the headset, she's also significantly weaker. She doesn't have full control over her nanobots because the headset does things that makes it easier to control all of them at once. She can still do minor things, but it simply takes too much concentration without the headset to control, 1 billion nanobots. So yeah, she'll fix Dennis up, repair him, everyone will be happy. There'll be introductions, they'll introduce each other. And then they'll have a little bit of a discussion about how to get out of here and maybe what's going on, things like that. Emma will tell them what she saw down there, the gate, the demons, because these two still aren't too sure about it. I mean, Paige, she's not very far down into the caverns yet. She may not have seen anything. Dennis, of course, he's been unconscious the entire time. And while they're talking, the thing that was chasing Emma finally catches up to them. Yes, you are in trouble. And a boss fight, the cavern boss. This is probably what it will look like. You can see I don't have a combat sprite set up for Paige yet, but I will. And the boss monsters will not jump over and attack like that. I don't want huge monsters flying across the screen. I may not even have the characters jump over there and attack. I'm not sure if I want them just to step forward, like in Final Fantasy, and where they just hack with their sword, or should they really be as animated as that. So then everyone will join up. You'll have Emma, Dennis, and Paige, the Nanomancer. And, yeah, then it's time to leave this place. This is just a room for, eye candy. There may be another item in here or something. I'm still not sure. A lot of rooms probably won't really have anything in them. They'll just be eye candy and places for leveling up. I don't want to overload the player with items for exploring. I just want them to explore, trying to find the right way to go. But I don't want exploring to be a huge burden. And you cannot climb this vine until Dennis is healed, because Emma will step up to the vine and she'll say, I can't climb this while I'm carrying Dennis. There's got to be another way if you try to come there first. So yeah, it'll take you back to this room. We can unlock the vent, and takes us back here. Now, once we're here, the team can go anywhere while they're down here. But the correct way to go to end this scenario is just to head to the safe room. As Emma and friends reach the safe room, they can only wonder and pray that Norrin has also reached safety. So yes, it'll take you back to this screen, and then you can choose Norrin and Jaden's scenario. And here we are. The air ducts, the turbines will be blowing once more, the wind will be blowing through everyone's hair, and we can finally leave this place to the overworld map, the colony surface, which I have done a little bit of work on. Also, I'm going to have one of the gameplay mechanics. If you step on a place, it won't instantly take you inside of it, but it will tell you what it is in the top left corner. So if you want to enter the engineering sector, you'll have to press the A button. And that way you can kind of walk around and explore things and see what's important. There'll be various rooms and houses and locations to check out like that. There'll be secret ones that you'll have to kind of stumble around and find. This little area right here is the lift, and it'll take you back down here. It'll be broken at first, obviously, until you repair it, but that'll be a small little dungeon in and of itself. This is, well, let's first see this. This is going to be one of the main, this is probably going to be one of the final dungeons. It's ominous looking, it's evil looking, it's kind of a central command area. I'm still not sure. You'll probably fight Harlan and the AI up top there, and I've got some more fun things planned for there. This place is going to be actually a very peaceful place, I've decided. You might notice the music. This is where some survivors have gathered. There'll be heavily armed guards here that will be glad to see other humans, and they'll check your eyes to make sure you're not a cultist, because cultists, one of the things that are going to give them away are the eyes, I've decided, because they're going to be possessed, kind of. They're not really possessed, it's more like they're sharing their body on purpose with an outside entity, and there's no way to hide that. And they have their own reasons for doing that, but there'll be various things around here. There'll be a beach where people are relaxing and enjoying themselves. I want this to be kind of a nice, relaxing area. Whereas the safe room is kind of a sad area as well. I mean, it's certainly not uplifting. It's down in the dumps, it's down in the slums, it's down in the dirt and filth and grime. But these people, they'll be managing. I still don't know what else I'm going to do there. But yeah, that's that place. This place... This is another very important area. This is... I don't want to spoil too much here, but this is going to be, how do I describe it? This is going to be an interactive cutscene. This whole scene will last just as long as this song does, and if you figure out what to do in that time frame, you'll be able to save these two people up here. If you don't figure out what to do, they will be sacrificed. This is dinner with the cultists right here. All of these people are going to be cultists. You will have bumped into them at some point, and you will recognize them. And I don't know why that picture is there, but it is. But yes, this is where all of the important cultists will be having a nice, wonderful dinner as they're about ready to sacrifice some people. And you're gonna break into that place in disguise, I guess, and try to keep your disguise. Another place I've been working on is the medical sector here. I'm trying to get it figured out. I really wish that picture would go away. Yeah, see, I can't even see what I'm doing here, but this place will be a fun little area to explore. I don't know why I can't walk over those grills right now. There's always something changing, it seems like, and going wrong, and I'm having to readjust because I don't know what I'm doing. So I do one thing and I make a mistake and it breaks things all over the place, which is great. But this place is going to be very ominous. You know, it's a medical sector, and I don't really know any way to make a medical sector seem happy. But I don't know what I'm going to do here. Don't know what I'm going to do here just yet. What type of monsters will be in here? Another thing that I'm going to do is there's going to be an item called Rocket Sauce. I've decided that I'm not going to have sprinting in the game at all. Like, you're not going to hold down a button and run. I don't want people to be forced to hold down a button to have a speed boost. So the default walk speed will be it'll be pretty quick. Again, just because there's no point in having a walking speed. No one's ever going to walk. So just make the default walk speed fairly quick, and then the Rocket Sauce item that will speed the player up for a minute or two and make them run quicker. And you'll be able to make that in a Vindotron, perhaps. I'm still not sure. This is a little rest area in the medical sector. This vent will lead back. Yeah, we unlock the vent and gain access. This will lead back here to the air ducts, which is fairly nice. And you'll be able to find air vents like that in each sector. So, really, that's all I have for now. I've been mostly focusing on minor things, trying to figure out how to piece together some of these events, get the layouts for these rooms to work, continuing to think about and refine some of the gameplay mechanics like the dashing. After playing Earthbound and noticing and remembering the skip sandwiches, I decided that's probably the best way to go about it. Have a pretty good walk speed that doesn't feel too slow, and then give the player the ability to sprint if they get an item for it, but not like a relic shoes or anything like that, or sprint shoes. So yeah, there's that, and really that's all I've got set up for now. That's actually been put into the game and hooked together. Let's see, what else can I show you guys in the last 2 weeks that I've done. I've been working on the AI sector. The AI sector is going to be where you will finally break into and fix the AI. It's going to be a very flashy, technologically advanced looking place compared to the rest of the colony. And let's see, this is just again test. There'll be turrets and things like that around here that you have to fight. These floor tiles here are going to glow, and they're actually animated to look like an alarm. I'm still not sure how I'm going to design the area. I just don't have enough tiles, it feels like. Again, a big part of it is also because I'm not a very good map designer. I'm not a good level designer. But I don't have enough tiles to really do everything that I want to do. So a huge chunk of my time is just throwing things together and see how it works. But yeah, this is what the AI sector is going to look like. As you go lower into the sector, the background here is going to become more apparent. It's going to look like a brain, I guess, because you're going down into the AI's mainframe. And these platforms, I guess, could be individual neurons, whatever. I don't know. Still haven't decided. One thing I do like that I figured out here. This pleases me to no end. This isn't the final look of these lifts, but it's the general idea. These lifts are what you'll use in several areas, and they'll transport you around. So they'll take you here, and then you'll go down here. You won't be able to walk down like this, but if you use it, it'll transport you down. Little things like that are kind of what I'm aiming for. And I'll show you what I'm talking about by the moving floor tiles. Because I'm kind of pleased with that too, how that's turning out. Yeah, you can see there's an alarm going off. That's why the floor is glowing red. Once you free the AI, that'll turn to green or something to signify, hey, the AI is not having troubles anymore. There's no longer a state of emergency going on here. Yes, this is going to be a very interesting place. These floor tiles were made by Himpuli. I got them from the Space Station 13 forums. They're the exact size that I needed, and I think that they work. So yes, you can see. One of the things I might have the player do in the AI sector here is find these control panels and start to turn them off or something like that. But again, I'm not sure. Because I want the player to explore, but I don't want them to feel pressured to find every single switch that they need to flip. Because there is nothing more annoying than missing one switch and having to run back through the entire dungeon because you missed it in the beginning or something like that. But yes, this just working on the general atmosphere of the AI sector here. I like the music. I think it's going to work. There'll be a boss fight here in order to get into the AI sector. Overall, the game's slowly coming together. I wouldn't expect to see huge jumps of progress like you did in the beginning whenever I was throwing everything together and a lot of the stuff was coming together, because it's just getting harder for me to come up with atmosphere and things like that with the tiles that I've got. And it's getting harder to piece everything together script-wise and switches and variables. It's slowing way down. So that's all I've done. I don't know when I'll stream again, don't know if I'll stream again, but I will be doing another progress update whenever I feel that I have made significant progress. Hopefully the next progress update will have the entire intro completed, from the time you're pulled out of the cryopod up until the first point where the party is split up on the bridge. I would like to have all of the scenes and cutscenes done up to that point. The monster balancing and things like that are not going to be done because that's again going to be one of the last things that I'll do. And until I finalize the character sprites that I'm going to be using, I'm not going to be bothering with attack animations or anything like that. So yeah, there you go. It's all coming together, just very, very slowly.